So here we are seated nice and straight and tall, and our hips are starting to open. Let's take our hands, palm up, fingers extended out in a really receptive way. And we're going to take that tailbone down nice and long. We're going to lift through the crown of our head and close our eyes. Focus inward, peeking deep down inside of ourselves. Feeling that expansion and contraction in our breath. From our belly into our ribs and then up into our chest area. Expanding outward on that in-breath and coming inward on that exhale. Picture something beautiful in your mind's eye right now. Something that brings you calm. Something that puts a smile across your face. A moment in time. Reflection. And then let's go ahead and gently begin to open up our eyes. And let's begin some gentle movement, taking those hands to the side, lifting, inhale. A gentle gaze up, exhale, take it down as the chin follows. Lifting on your up breath and taking it on your down breath in the opposite direction. Only thing you're hearing is that internal breath. Feeling the sides of your body beginning to open. Feeling the back of your neck starting to release. Following your breath. Let's do this 3 or 4 more times. Hands come down. The chin is resting at your chest. And then let's go ahead and work the side body a little bit deeper. Taking your right hand, placing it on the ground. Push down with that open hand. Lift with your left. Come on over, exhale. Really stretching here. This is easily done in the chair. We did this yesterday in the chair. Breathing here as you feel that. Just even this deep breath work here and this opening of the side body might be what you were feeling, Sparky, in your hips and in your ribs. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Come on down. Reversing, push down with the left. Let the right hand zoom up. Come on over. Find with your breath how you lengthen and you find your depth. Inhale, reach on up. Exhale, down. Let's move with grace, beauty, and breath. Inhale. Exhale. Reaching up on your in. Exhale, down. Lift on up. Bring it on over. Straight up and down. A few more times, your breath pace. Really lengthening. If you lengthen out your fingers, you're going to find more strength in your arm. Let's do one more set. bringing yourself back up. If you've remained in that Sukhasana position, seated on the ground or in a chair, go ahead and reverse that out. So the opposite shin is inside on the outside and the other one's on the inside, and your knees continue to stay open as the hips stay open. Let's do some twisting here and maybe some lifting as well. So go ahead and cross over, left to right knee, hand behind you, and begin that twist. And let's hold it in a static way here. Pulling right shoulder back as left comes in and creeps in a little bit more towards the right. Feeling that all the way down into the waistline. And releasing slowly with the head turning and then the rest of the body following and reversing. Push down with your backhand to really keep that back straight as you go into your turn. Looking over left shoulder, rights forward. And beginning with that release, head turns, the rest of the body follows. So that was more static. Let's do that dynamically with our breath, okay? So this is your inhale. And exhale, turn and look over your shoulder. Inhale, find yourself back in neutral spine. Exhale, reversing that direction. Taking yourself back on the inhale. And exhale. Find your breath rhythm here. The beauty of your own breath. That loving, giving, nourishing, cleansing breath. And when we add movement to this breath, we also are detoxing our organs even more by squeezing into them. Let's do 2 more sets with your breath. Remembering that inhale, when we come back through to center, is not rushed. Long, full, slow breaths. Some of our breath work is done in a faster pace, but not this one. And let's end back in neutral spine, coming forward together. If you're seated down on the ground, or if you have a chair, we're going to extend one leg out. So that would be when you would be using that second chair, or extend your heel onto the ground, seated in your chair. Here we're going to find maybe a little more opening for that left hip. And you're going to find extension and release for the back side of your right leg. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to slide it down the front of that right leg. See where your hand lands. If you want, you can lower your body even more. Flex through that right foot. Okay, I know you're not able to see that, but you can feel it on your body. Flexing through that right foot. If you have the flexibility, take your thumb and index finger, open it wide and place it underneath the back side of your Achilles tendon. And that's just going to give you a little hook there to hold on in place. If your body does not go that far, don't worry, just take your hand to wherever your body will allow you to go. Pull that left shoulder back and press gently on the inside of your left thigh. And just take your fingers and move up and down there a bit, and you're going to feel that back in the upper left side of your spine. At least I am. And then take your left hand, make big starfish fingers, place it right by your heart. Take that elbow up and gaze up if your neck allows. Otherwise, keep neck neutral, or you can be looking down to that flexed foot. And again, this can easily be done with a second chair, extending your leg out. Or if you're on a bed, you can do this as well. And then take that left hand down, pull in at the navel because we're going to slowly release from that side stretch that we held for a while. And now take your torso, instead of being side, take it so that it faces more in the direction of that extended leg. And then we're going to walk down again. And you're going to feel that in a different way. And then I want you to curl and tuck and round your chin to your chest. This time, point through your toes on the right side. Feeling that opening on the front side of your right ankle. As you breathe, see if gravity in your breath is allowing your head to come closer and closer to your knee. Pull in at that lower belly point. Few breaths here. Slowly walk yourself back to upright position. Let your body, your torso turn back towards me. And then let's extend that left leg out long. It's going to feel really good to do that because it's been in that bent position for a while. And pull the right one in so that the sole of the foot is high on top and the side of that left inner thigh. Flexing through that left foot. Let's go ahead and walk that left hand down. We're keeping our torso more forward in this first part. You're going to start to feel a stretch on the right side body. Maybe take the thumb and index finger as a hook underneath the Achilles on that left side there. And begin to just take finger pressure on that inner right thigh as your right shoulder's pulling back a bit. You're feeling your left side body come closer in contact with that left extended leg. And then taking your starfish fingers open wide here, right to your heart center. Pull up that right elbow. Feel the lengthening on the right side body along with the extension in your left leg. And again, this can be done in using those two chairs. But please only be going as far as is comfortable for you. Pulling up a little more with that right elbow. And then releasing that hand down, right hand down. Pull in at your navel point as you begin to slowly rise up from your extension over that left leg. And then let's turn our body towards that extended left leg. Begin to walk on down. Taking that to the point that feels right for the back of your left leg, feels right for your open right hip, it feels right for your spine. Point through those toes on the left side. Curl and tuck, taking your forehead close to your knee. Breathing here. Pulling in your elbows maybe so that you're just a little bit more rounded. Feeling your breath deep down into your belly. Your next inhale, begin slowly to walk your hands up. That extended leg, taking torso back. Let's take that right leg out. Both legs are extended. If you are on the chair, this is going to be a little bit difficult to do unless you had 3 chairs, 1 for each leg. But you can do this with your heels on the ground, okay? So the idea here is extending in and opening through the center part of our legs. Pull back on your toes, push out through your heels. And this really nice open extension here. And we're going to pull in at the navel point deep down here, walking forward. Okay, so if you're in that chair, you're just going to start to do a forward fold. For us that are seated, we're forward folding front ways. Forward and front, I guess that means the same thing. Taking your hands and finding them, little spider fingers, taking yourself maybe a little bit deeper, but only to a place that feels right for you. Pushing through your heels. Oh, you're going to feel that even more on the back side of your legs, but only if you want to. Taking some breaths here. Slowly beginning to walk back. So that we're seated upright here. Let's go ahead and take both legs forward. Easy to do if you have that second chair. Or again, you can just be seated and have your legs extended forward with the heels on the back. On the mat, we're just, again, seated up on our sits bones. We're now in staff pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, explode open, heart comes out. Inhale up. Exhale, heart center. And I have my legs really active. Inhale. Exhale. I have my toes pulling back towards me. Heels pushing out. Or you can push your toes away from you. Exhale. Find what works for you or flip back and forth between the two. Use your breath here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. So now I'm going to point when my hands come to heart center. I'm going to flex as my hands come up. I'm going to point as I open up here. So I'm just shifting my feet and the energy in my legs with every movement of my arms, coordinating my breath, my feet, my arms. Let's do 2 more sets. Finding yourself with hands at heart center. Releasing your arms down. If you're seated in a chair or if you're on the ground, we're going to be doing a little bit of lifting our glutes, our hips off of that chair or the ground. Fingers pull behind you on the seat of your chair or on the ground or on the mat. Point your toes, lift as much of your hips up off the chair or mat as you can, lifting your heart up. Reverse plank pose here. Bring yourself on down, flexed feet. When we inhale, we point through the toes and we lift up. Strengthening our arms, weight bearing here. Really important, especially for all of us women. Lifting hips, pushing through toes. Lift your hips and look back. Slowly coming back down. Try that 2 more times, please. And finding yourself back, seated, nice and tall and long here. And now let's go ahead and we are going to move those of us on the mat into tabletop. If you're seated in a chair, you use both chairs. Sit on one and take your knees apart a bit and your hands out extended on that chair. So it might look a little bit different than what we're doing, but basically what we're going to do right now is cat and cow. So as we know, cat and cow can be done seated, can be done just like we're doing right now on all fours. It can be done standing. It can be done in a lot of ways. The idea is to make a wave with our spine. So exhale, release your belly down and look up. And then take your belly in and your chin to your chest. Open up those shoulders. Keep going here. Find your rhythm and your breath in the position that you're choosing to do your cat and cow. Yoga is an inclusive practice. It's not meant to exclude anyone. Everything can find an accommodation, a modification. It can find an amplification. It's all about what our bodies are craving. And they're really craving movement. You know how stiff you get when you haven't moved. You know what your body says to you after you do move. It says, I'm alive, I'm here, I feel what you did. And it feels good. Can you do it again, please? The next time you may not feel it so much because your body's building strength and memory for those different movements. Let's do this 2 more cycles. Coming to a flat spine. We're going to take that right knee off the ground. Again, if you are seated in a chair, take that right leg behind you on the side of your chair. Lift that right leg up. So lift that leg up a little bit. If you're seated on the chair, just find some anti-gravity movement on that leg. And then keeping your right hand planted and your left knee planted, lift your left arm up. And we're pushing through your right toes or your right heel, depending if you're flexed or pointed, and your left fingers are drawing forward. And then you're going to take that left elbow to meet the right knee. Exhale. And lengthen on an inhale. Again, finding your modification when you're seated on the chair. Maybe you're just seated in mountain and your left elbow is coming and crunching up to a lifted right knee. Not everything's going to look the same, but you can get the same kind of benefits. Let's do 1 more cycle here. And release. Left fingers forward, right toes back, left hand down, right knee down or placed back where you need to if you're utilizing those 2 chairs. Now we're going to take that left foot, lift it up and lift it high behind you. Flexor point, make sure you stay active. Right arm lifts. Bicep is by your ear. Take and lengthen as much as you can from toes to fingers here. Find your balance and begin. Elbow to knee. And you curl and tuck in, chin to chest. And again, seated quite easily, just finding one elbow to the opposite knee. Using breath though. Wherever we are, we're using our breath. We're exhaling as we come in. We're inhaling as we lengthen. Let's do 2 more. And bringing ourselves back. And right hand down, left knee down. And let's go ahead and just take some circles with our hips. If you're seated in the chair, Do some circles with your torso, your upper body, moving down into the hip area a bit, or take that other chair, put your hands on it, press forward and push it away from you a little bit, and you can get some hip action there as well. And reversing. One more time in that direction. And then coming straight into your tabletop or your seated mountain. We're going to come into tucking our toes and coming into our down dog. Seated down dog, stay in your chair, push that chair away, and then just let your arms extend long. Or if you feel you want to stand up, use that chair, the back side of the chair, to push down on as you extend your legs back. Or the front side of the chair, the seat side, you'll use that and you'll extend back. But those of us that are on the mat, you may have just walked your dog a little bit like I was doing, taking and bending into the knees, and then trying to find as much of your heels reaching towards that mat as your Achilles tendon will allow, as your calves will allow, and just finding this nice relaxed down dog here. And then we're going to go ahead and walk our feet to the center of the mat. Walk our hands to meet our feet. We're going to find ourselves in a forward fold. If you're seated on the chair, then just sit from mountain and forward fold over your knees, maybe having the knees a little bit open. Let your head hang. Let it go. We've already done a little bit of neck work here at the beginning and through what we just did. So just let it go and let it release. Pull in at your navel point, really strong here, and begin to ragdoll up. Your hands are hanging. Your head hangs, and this can be done seated as well. You're just working with the torso. And then coming up to straight, standing in mountain pose. And I'll be moving back and forth so that you guys are able to see me, but you don't need to take those different movements. So, and I believe you can see all of me. So what we're going to do here is first find our mountain. So find your feet flat on the ground, and let's begin to take a little bit of movement here. And if you're seated in the chair, same thing. Just kind of pick up onto the balls of your feet and lift your heels up. We're working on our calves. If we're standing and not in the chair, we're also working on balance, okay? So let's do that a few times here so we can feel that in those calf muscles. And then taking hands to heart center, we're gonna move in and out of chair pose. So if you're seated in the chair, go ahead and just follow as you can, seated in the chair and moving your legs like we'll be moving. So we're gonna go ahead into that chair. Those of you that are standing, we're gonna inhale, lift up. Then as we exhale back into chair, take your left leg out, sit down into a goddess squat. So you would do that in the chair as well. Lift up, back to center. Exhale, regular chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale out, goddess squat. Sit on down. Inhale, lifts us back into feet together, hips distance. And exhale, chair. So taking a chair in between each goddess squat. With breath. Inhale, you lift up high. Exhale, one leg comes out, squat on down. Raising up. Good for hips. Good for glutes. Good for quads. Stretching the side body. You want to add something here? Push your hands together strongly. Add that isometric resistance. Nice flow here. Let's do 2 more sets. Maybe you notice your squats are getting a little lower. Only if that feels like tapping naturally with your breath, with gravity, with the continual movement. Your muscles are releasing. Finding yourself back up in center. Upward salute. Exhale, release your heart. Hips come forward. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come down. Stand and breathe in mountain, or sit and breathe in mountain. That could have been done in the chair as well. Just coming back into center and taking right leg out, back to center, then left leg out. Good. Now let's go ahead and work in our Garasana pose for some balancing, strengthening, and joint health. Bend into your knees. Let's fly up. Inhale. Exhale, right under left. Find your position. We did this yesterday in chair pose. Find your elbows up a little bit higher perhaps than normal. Squat on down. Let's just take this like this for a little bit. So exhale, inhale, lift high. Bring it on down. Up and in. Moving dynamically. Maybe finding with this one, every inhale, our shoulders release a little bit more. Every exhale, maybe become a little deeper. 2 more times. And seated in the chair, you're just coming to your knees each time and lifting up. And then let's come on down. And taking that left foot, grounded. Take the right foot up. Begin to lift it. Play with your balance. Maybe you cross today. Maybe you just play with that balance. Maybe you double cross. But we're sitting as low as we can from the waist down. As high as we can from the waist up. Pulling shoulders and spine back. Breathing here. If you're seated in the chair, your arms are crossed in eagle, your leg is crossed over the other. Maybe you're going into prayerful eagle or bowing eagle. Releasing that right leg down, lift up, inhale. Release both arms from that bind. Inhale. Exhale, take into your triangle mudra, your cactus arms. Hips forward, heart open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left under right. Finding that opposite effect there. Coming on down. Inhale up. Exhale. This time when we come down, take your elbows to the left knee. Inhale up. Come on down. Exhale. Elbows to the right knee. Again, very easy to do this in the chair. Taking that twist a little bit more each time. Maybe looking over your shoulder. Maybe bypassing the knee to the side of your thigh. Let's do that 2 more sets. Still working in the strength of our quads and our glutes. This can be done quite easily in those chairs. Just remaining seated and using your arms. Come on up. Squat on down. Take weight into your right foot. Begin to play with that left foot. Lifting it. Only crossing when that feels safe. Really good to do with a wall. With your wall facing the wall, okay? Your hand, your front of your body facing the wall. Lower a bit. Back comes back, straight a bit more. The knees come forward. Trying to line up knees and elbows. Squatting a bit more maybe. Left foot comes down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Fly up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's find our mountain pose here. Breathing. I'm going to go into airplane. And on airplane, for your chair pose, your arms are going to be out, seated on that chair, or you can rise up from the chair, hold on to the chair seat as we take flight with one of our legs lifting up, okay? So here we are, arms out, fingers pointed strongly away from you. Take that right foot forward, bend into that right knee. If you're seated in the chair, just take your right foot forward, bend into it. You may not be lifting off of your seat, and that's okay, using your strong arms here. And let's go ahead and begin to lean forward. Press weight into that right foot, straighten and lengthen. Left foot comes off the ground an inch or 2, or maybe hip height. And we breathe, we open up our fingers wide, looking straight down. Really feeling that opening through the left front hip flexor and the strength in that left hip and glute. Bend into your right knee, place your left foot down and begin to bring your body weight back and bring the right foot back. Arms come down, exhale. Stand in mountain and breathe. Or sit in mountain and breathe. Arms come out again. Push through those fingers. You want to be really strong and tight, muscle to bone. And all of your body that's grounded and all of your body that's intensified in these arms, even though they're not grounded, they are kind of grounding muscle to bone here. Take your left foot forward this time. Bend into that left knee. Right leg is back, solid. Bring your body weight forward. This may be all you do if you're seated in the chair. This is a good airplane too. Bring weight farther into the left foot. Begin to lift that right foot, toes off the ground. Looking straight down. Finding length there in your spine. Finding length in your arms. Finding your balance. This is a really strong, active pose. Stay strong, muscle to bone. Bend into that front knee. Place your right foot down. Lift through your chest. Bring yourself on back. Exhale. Arms come down. Let's breathe in mountain here. Good work. Now we're going to go into Warrior One. Warrior One, it can be done very easily in the chair. You're going to want to turn your body to the left or the right to begin with. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to turn this way so you'll be able to see the different aspects of what I'm going to do in Warrior One. And we're going to go ahead and take our right foot forward, toes pointed away from us. Back foot is going to come behind us at a 45-degree angle, all right? So our trunk, our torso is mostly facing forward here, unlike Warrior Two, where this foot is back more and we're more facing the side, okay? So 45-degree angle, and our front leg begins straight to begin with, all right? So you're seated in the chair, take one leg behind you, one leg in front of you, and then we're going to bend into that front knee. Bend so that it is right above your ankle there. You have about a 90-degree bend. Again, it depends on your anatomy, but be protective to not let that front knee pass over that ankle. Some of the things that we do that once in a while, but not for this. Everything should be strong right along and in that knee area. And then taking our hands from our hips, let's send them upward. Inhaling, fingers expand wide here. Same thing if you're in the chair. You're lifting up, you're looking up, inhale long. And then take your left hand down and let it slide down that back leg. Right fingers pull up, that right side body gets long. And then open up through your heart, pulling those right fingers back. Letting your throat chakra open here. Breathing. Lifting back up to straight. Left arm comes to meet the right. Right hand comes back behind you. Take it around your waist and try to find a little bind there. Or you can just take that arm straight back and then release your heart up. Inhale and exhale a few times here. Keeping that bend in your front knee. Keeping that front knee facing forward. Releasing that back hand up. And exhale, both hands behind you. Interlace right here. Push down, squeeze shoulders. Open heart, open throat. Exalting here in our Warrior One. Lifting straight up. Then take your body at a diagonal. We're going to come down. Pull in your belly though. We're only going to come a quarter of the way down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, quarter. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, half. Your shoulder and your knee kind of meet here. Inhale, lift with a strong core. Exhale to half. Staying at half. Keeping your back flat. Push into the outside edge of your back foot. Staying here with a good strong core, or releasing with a good strong core. Your head, crown towards the ground. You guys stay there and breathe. I'm just going to put the music on again. So we're breathing here in this humble warrior. Finding depth here. Pulling in at the navel. Find yourself halfway. And then bring yourself up again. Releasing arms. Bringing yourself, both feet back. Finding yourself in a mountain pose here. Inhale and exhale. So one side of our body feels like we just did a lot. We need to do it to the other side. So take the left toes and face them in that leftward direction. The right foot comes back behind you. The distance is going to depend on your anatomy. And my left toes are all facing forward. My right ones are at a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to separate those feet according to the balance. The more you have the feet lined up, the more you're going to feel unbalanced. If you spread them out, you're going to have more stability. If you're on the chair, you turn to the other side. And now we're going to bend into that front knee. So bending into it so that it lines up with that left ankle. Push into the back side of that right foot. Take our hands on our hips and just find the depth and the stability, the security, the connectivity that we want to feel in this. Because you notice we were in that last one for about 5 minutes with different poses. So make sure you're feeling really stable. Then release your arms, bring them up, inhale. This can also be done if you want to get out of the chair, taking one hand to the chair each time, to the back side of the chair. So please utilize that chair as needed or wanted. Open up your fingers wide here. Make sure you've got a good, strong body from waist down and waist up. Take your right arm behind you, slide it down that back leg. Lift your left arm up and look. And breathe. And then we rise up, left up, right up. Shoulders and hips more towards those extended left toes on the left side body. Then take the left hand down, wrap it behind you if you want to bind, or just let it pull back behind you. And let the right arm pull back as well, looking up. And bring yourself back up, both arms. Long side bodies here. Depth, length. Depth from the waist down, length from the waist up. Taking hands, interlace in the opposite way. Push down, lift up by pulling shoulders together. You lift your heart space and you open it wide. And we bring ourselves up with an inhale. Exhale. First find your diagonal. Quarter down. Inhale up. Exhale. Quarter down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, half down. Flat spine here. Inhale, lift. Strong belly. Exhale. Staying here at half, or continuing to bypass it and coming down, letting your heavy head hang, letting your arms come over if the shoulders are loud. Pull into that back right side by pulling up on your kneecap a bit, not locking, but just accentuating the strength there in that whole back leg, the whole body here. And releasing the strength of ego. Let it go. Push through our feet. Rise up halfway. Inhale the rest of the way up. Taking body back forward. Releasing arms. Coming all the way up. Inhale. And exhale. Hands come down. And let's go ahead and bring in our feet back to center, back into standing mountain pose. Take a couple breaths here. Let's do a little flow with rocking chair. I'm going to turn this way. Rocking chair. We're going to inhale, lift up. We're going to exhale, take our arms back as our knees are bent, the hands reach up high. Your inhale takes you up and back. Exhale. Let your body flow with the grace of this rocking chair. Done a lot of work with our legs today. Even if you've been seated on the chair, should have accentuated the strength in your legs. Rocking chair can be easily done seated in the chair, just rocking up and rocking down. Let's do one more set. And come back into mountain. Standing and breathing, getting ourselves back into homeostasis here, from having head down and then head up, head down. That kind of sensation we probably still feel rocking in our bodies a bit. All right, Lori asked for hip openers, and Monica asked for lower belly. So we're gonna get on the floor for those. If you have a chair, you can do several what I'm gonna offer seated on the chair, or you can get onto your sofa as well. This is what makes it really nice, right, at home, because we can have things around us. So for my classes, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and lay down now. I'm seated right now, but for my classes, if you can have blocks, if you don't have blocks, then build yourself up with some books or toilet paper rolls. If you can, have a blanket or a bolster. If you don't have a strap, find a scarf or a belt, because we'll be using those sometimes as well. And yeah, if you can find something to squeeze, if we do some squeezing, a block or that toilet paper roll will work for that as well. But just have in your presence those things available, just to accentuate some of our poses. But right now we're gonna lay down and have your knees bent. If you're in the chair, just sit up against the back of your chair, just as if you were laying down. Or again, taking yourself to a sofa. And we're going to now take your right ankle and cross it right behind your left knee. And if you're seated in the chair, just take a cross of your legs, okay? Right now, we're already beginning to open the hips, but we're gonna do it more. We're gonna come up onto the ball of that left foot, and we're gonna bring that left foot in even further towards our left hip. Or if you're seated on the chair, just rise up onto that left ball of the left foot. Flex through the right foot. And then lift that left leg off the ground and start to bring it in. Knee towards your shoulder. Already feeling that in that right outer hip. Still, this can be done seated in the chair. This can be done in the chair up against a wall. If you have a wall that you have present. Also, that's a nice asset. And then chin is tucked. Take your hands underneath that left thigh and begin to pull, or underneath, interlaced, underneath that left kneecap. And begin to gently bring that left knee in, closer to your left shoulder, as you start to feel that more in your right outer hip. You've made a figure four, and you're bringing that figure four in closer and closer to your body. And now let's lift our head off the ground to add a little bit of core work here. And let's take that head towards that left knee. Bring the left knee in closer and closer and closer. Squeezing here. Flexing your feet. And then releasing, shoulders down, head down, left foot down, right foot down, and reverse. Cross over left ankle to right behind your right knee. Pick up that right foot. Bring that right knee in closer and closer to your right shoulder. Tucking chin. Flexed feet. Hands take wherever felt good for you, but try to interlace in that opposite way. And continue with that nice little gentle pull. Right knee towards right shoulder. This can be done seated in the chair as well. Breathing here. Maybe a little bit of pressure with that left elbow on the inner left thigh. Lift your head off the ground. And let's find your knee and your forehead maybe coming closer and closer together. Curl and tuck and round and use your lower belly to really bring yourself up higher. Slowly releasing out of that. Find your back on the mat or against the back of the chair. Your feet come to the ground. Walk your feet out and let your knees come together here. Take a couple breaths in this restorative pose. Same thing if you're seated in the chair, just take your feet wide, let your knees cave in, and breathe. Walk your feet in, open up those knees, soles of the feet come together, chin tucks, find breath. Find beauty in your breath. This can be done seated on the chair. Just find the soles of your feet together and your knees open. You guys can stay there and elongate into your Shavasana if you like, or you can roll up and meet me in Sukhasana.